Well, yeah, I gotta make this quick tonight, y'all. Hey, cause it's late. I'm just now getting the boys in the bed. They not sleep, but I'm just getting them in the bed. So I got a little time to talk, and I want to talk to y'all about that video I made about D'Angelo being rooted. The spirit just put it on me tonight that I needed to talk about it. I was supposed to do it earlier, but I had other things that I had to do for my kids. And I'm just not getting where I can talk. Let me see if I can sit this link the right way. It did. Okay. I know y'all can see me. That's all that matters. Because it's saying the orientation is locked, but it's not because I got it unlocked. Grand after night because it's nighttime. Make sure, let me see. My orientation is not locked. Okay. Oops, shoot. See over here slide. Okay, so let's get into it. First things first, his energy is so vast. What the spirit showed me of his energy is so big that you could not imagine the depths of which. Okay? Let's start right there. So, I talked about how Angie Stone rooted him. Okay? I explained how he had a resentment for her because she rooted him. And I explained that her passing was a direct reflection of what she did so many years ago, right? But now it's time for me to explain his passing because everybody wants to make this whole soulmate thing, yada, yada, yada. It was none of that. So when you root somebody, you bind them. You bind them in a never-ending cycle. This is why I tell y'all, I will never manipulate the elements. If I do work to sweeten a person on you, to make them be more loving to you, and they do the opposite, I will never manipulate the elements to make them what you want them to be, because you end up tormenting them, especially when their love for you is not that. So I got a lot of comments where people was like, but how do you know this? They were soulmates. They passed within months of each other. He was bound. He been ready to go. He been ready to go. You heard me? He been ready to go. He was bound. When she left, the spell broke. He had time to get his affairs in order, and it was his time to go home because his soul was freed. Now, he manifested these things illnesses and things within himself and the way that he handled certain situations and the toxic things that he brought into his temple and into his life. He had gave up on life long ago. Still a musical genius. Still musically inclined. Still D'Angelo. But the man had given up on life long ago. He dealt with depression and other mental health issues. That's what the spirit showed me. I seen a clip of him from 2019 and his eyes were crazy. That spell, that root had drove him crazy. But the only place that he found solitude was in his artistry, in his music, what he accomplished. She rooted him. Yes, he had an attraction to her. Yes, he did pursue her, but he didn't want anything serious. When his career took off with Brown Sugar, he wanted to be free. She tied him down with a baby. He ended up resenting said baby, resenting her and the baby. That wasn't the situation he wanted. He did not know how to love his child through resentment, not through his child's choices like she was telling us, because he's an artist first. And every artistry ain't gonna be the same as yours, and he understood that. He perfected his lane. He didn't want to control other people's lane, and he didn't try to because he was an artist. He resented him because he knew he had been rooted. That child was not made out of love. Now let me explain something about a root to you. When a woman roots a man, what do women care about most? We care about having the cute baby. We care about having the family unit, right? So what will God do when a woman roots a man? He'll take that away. The baby come out challenged or not the best looking. Y'all keep saying, oh, he look like Angie. He don't look like neither one of them because he came from a root. Look at that boy. He don't look like Angie Stone and he don't look like D'Angelo. He came from a root. He don't look like either one of them. He came from the elements being manipulated. I bet you if we could see the demon that she worked with, he resembles that demon more. Look at that son. He don't look like her or him. Then you got his daughter that looked exactly like him. She was made from love. You got another younger son that I just found out about that is his freaking twin, but he got locks. Look just like him. When a man roots a woman and produces a child may be born speech delay, autism, not having good combat skills, because what do men care for? Direct communication, being able to protect and provide. People root people all the time. I don't know why everybody thinks this is big taboo thing. People root people all the time. When you are praying to God and saying, I don't understand why it's not working with me and this man, this, that, and the third. And you start saying, oh, he gonna come back, he gonna miss me. You're trying to bind the person to you. Because the real truth is, you're questioning God and you are affirming that that person has to come back to you. You are rooting them. You are binding their energy to yours, which is why a lot of y'all end up in situationships and you don't understand how you keep ending up in these motherfucking situationships, but you're binding the person because you want that person to feel so bad about fucking you over that you're keeping them in your life. When you stop being friends with somebody, you say, oh, they gonna see I was the best friend they ever had. You're rooting that person. You don't have to say that. People get so caught up in wanting people to feel bad about how they do them that they root the person and themselves. Instead of you saying, okay, God, it was time for them to exit. I understand, I accept this. Give me the strength to move on. Instead, you root yourself into a person's life that ain't even supposed to be in your life. And next thing you know, y'all in a back and forth, push and pull thing because you wanted them to feel bad. So in turn, and you wanted them to return begging, which what them niggas do when they fuck up. And you over there mad because you done found out that he fucked up. And you say, he gonna come back begging me. He gonna come back. And he do. He do come back begging you. What you do, sis? You rooted that man. You bound him to your energy. Because really, had you not said that, and did not affirm that that person is supposed to be in your life, when God tried to take them away and reverse the workings of God, that person would go on about their business. You wouldn't be in the back and forth with a karmic. That don't mean you're no good. And you know that don't mean you're no good. Because you got to ask questions to yourself and to other people about them. When you are rooted, everything in your life falls apart. Look at all the things that D'Angelo went through. Going to jail, drugs, trying to cope with the fact that his mind didn't understand what he was bound to. That resentment he had for that lady was because she rooted him. She freed him when she left. God rest her soul, because I ain't trying to say nothing bad about her, but I'm being real. She freed him. He had months to get his affairs in order. God called him home. He was bound to earth by a root. You want to know why he's so fine to every woman in the world? Even in his later years. I've looked at a concert of him from 2019 and he was still that. It's safe to say that that's the finest man that done walked the earth. I ain't seen one finer. And if you got one finer, tell me, you show me your card, I show you my card. Because I ain't seen a man finer than this man. You know why he was so fine? Because he was here on assignment. How many songs you got in your discography that make you feel like, how does it feel? How many songs in your discography make you feel like that? You remember in church how they talked about when the angels would sing, you would recognize them because the way they would make you feel? He was here on assignment. how many people made you feel how this man made you feel. And this passing doesn't feel like a mournful passing, right? Even though we hurt, it don't feel very mournful. We celebrating this man's legacy. We celebrating his legacy. Every song on his album resonates with this moment, this very moment that we're going through. This very moment. You feel me? Every song applies to right now in these moments. He was on assignment. He was on assignment. He was on assignment. We going through a shift right now. And all the angels that God sent down, that we looked at them and said, damn, they different. I never met a person like this. I never been around a person like this. They on assignment. We are more accepting of what has happened with him than we have been with others. It didn't feel like his time was cut short. It felt like God called his child home. We have peace in it. And you know why we have peace? Because he had peace. He happy. He free. And everybody making them AI pictures of him and Angie Stone, he did not care for that lady. I don't understand why nobody understands that. He did not care for that lady. She was controlling and could be mean at times. She wasn't all the way right. God bless her, rest her soul. She wanted to run him. Her greatest accomplishment was him being her baby daddy. That was her greatest accomplishment. Why would that still be a point of an interview for you 30-something years later? Why? Because to her, that was her greatest accomplishment. She didn't think that she could get a man that looked that good. I seen somebody say he was fat when she got with him. This is in the third. Do y'all remember when D'Angelo first came out? I'm talking about pre-Voodoo. Because see, y'all didn't see D'Angelo body until the Voodoo album. I'm talking about Brown Sugar. He looked the exact same. Where y'all getting that he was fat? Where y'all getting that at? She was mean. She was controlling. Elaine? Mean, controlling. Spirit. Her spirit was so fucked up because of that root. Everybody like, oh, they killed her because she was revealing secrets. No, she was paying a debt. People said, oh, she sounded like she resented him. Yes, because she rooted him and he beat it. Did y'all know that he went and got crowned in E5? Did y'all know that? Did y'all know that? He went and got crowned in E5. He made a song called Africa. He made a song. Oh, okay, yeah, I was trying to make sure my tray working. He made a song called Africa. Because when you so deeply rooted and you don't know nothing about it, we're the first place and they tell you, we're the first place they tell you to go. You're supposed to go back to the motherland and get cleansed. I had somebody tell me that. Because when you don't know the power that you possess, you feel like you got to run somewhere to get cleansed. The industry couldn't do nothing with him. They couldn't do nothing with him because he was a man of integrity. You know how Angie Stone got in the interviews and talked about his pride? His pride is what saved him. He didn't sell his soul. He stuck to who he was. She was a handler. She was a handler. Monique Hunter, Send It On is definitely a return to sender. When I do return to sender work, that is my song choice. On repeat. Because when you do return to sender, it don't have to be nasty and uproot and vile and violent, because your spirit's gonna handle everything on the back end. You just want it up off of you. So you're gonna send it up, and send it through, and send it back to you. She was a handler. I didn't even know that she dated Calvin Richardson. I don't know if y'all know who Calvin Richardson is, but if you do, I never knew that she dated Calvin Richardson and tried to do the same thing with him. And mighty funny, Calvin fell off too. I never knew that. Yeah, she dated Calvin Richardson. She tried to do the same thing to him, control his musical aspects and things, and then he falls off the face of the earth. So she probably rooted him too. And everybody, y'all keep saying, oh, D'Angelo probably didn't go to her funeral because he was sick. First of all, D'Angelo just went in hospice 2 weeks ago. D'Angelo was doing shows earlier this year. He didn't go to her funeral because he resented the woman. And everybody wanted to make this magical love story, but it's not. That lady was older than him. She took advantage of him. She rooted him, and she tried to control his directive. No, girl, Calvin Richardson ain't fine like D'Angelo. I'm telling y'all, D'Angelo is the finest man to grace this place. It's just that vibe, you know? When I tell y'all, roots get very deep. Roots get very, very deep. I have broke so many roots off of people. And the one thing that I notice is that they all have mental issues. Once they're rooted, they're all under some sort of psychosis. They become hyper-religious or hypersexual or a drug addict. Every time they rooted, it does not matter. Okay? So, I just wanted y'all to know. I'm not saying bad things about Angie Stone, but let me tell y'all, I recognize roots so easily on people because of how belligerent they act. And I got a perfect example for y'all, okay? I'm gonna give y'all a perfect example. Okay. Y'all have seen Kanaya and CJ. They look just like their dad, right? What if I told y'all he have a daughter that looked just like D'Angelo's son? D'Angelo and Angie Stone's son. What if I tell y'all that James St. Patrick lost his motherfucking mind while he was with this person that rooted him and got this child from him but tried to put it on another man? Yeah, the girl rooted him. James St. Patrick went to jail every time I turned around when he got with this girl. The last thing he did was the 5 years that he did, right? So when he get out, he said he ain't fucking with this girl no more. He gonna have to take care of their daughter, whatever. He hold true to it. He don't really fuck with the girl like that. He get with another girl. He have a baby with this girl. He don't got nothing going on, right? He ain't got nothing going on. Him and this girl, they all right. He meet another girl, the girl he with now. And I do not know what happened between him and the other girl. But he abruptly left her and went with this girl. Then what happened? He started wrecking his cars. He then went to jail a number of times while being with this girl. And me and him are back at odds again. Every time he is rooted, they focus on me. Don't know why. Well, I do know why. I'm gonna take that back. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I know why. The girl told me what he told her. And this one have rooted him too. I know a root when I see it. I've dealt with them firsthand. And if y'all ask me, would I break James St. Patrick root? No. Because it's the lesson that he have to learn. I would not. I wouldn't do any protection work for him. I wouldn't do any of that. Because what's the purpose of me doing that if you don't learn the lesson? See, D'Angelo went to Africa and got cleansed. He never looked back. He got with people that was in his purpose. He learned his purpose. He learned himself. And he moved forward. He had children that were for him. That was supposed to be for him. You know what women down here do to have a baby by men? They get eggs. They kill a fish. They put it in the dead fish's mouth, an egg. And it has to be an egg small enough. I think it's the little small eggs that they sell. It's small enough to put in a dead fish mouth. And they send it upstream in a river. That is how women manifest a baby. Now, they're being told that they're supposed to give these offerings to Oshun, but truth is, Oshun don't even deal in that mess. So what spirit is they really petitioning to get the said baby? Because if Oshun wants to give you a baby, she gonna give you a baby. You ain't got to give her no dead fish. But the root here is they get the little small eggs. They kill a fish, put it in the fish mouth, send it upstream. I've seen 2 girls do it. Guess what happened from her doing it with her kids? Baby daddy got full custody of the kids when the son turned 16. He got full custody of his kids. She can't even get them fucking kids back. And I know for a fact that she did it because I know the root lady that she went to get it done. And she told me, she told her, you don't need to do that. Y'all are not equally yoked. She didn't care. She wanted the spell. She got the spell when that little boy turned 16. He took both of their sons from her. Full custody. And she cannot get them back. They have a restraining order against her. Because it's going to always backfire. This girl is in the same position that she was in when she went to the root lady. Living from pillar to post. Don't have a car. Same position. Now she's resorted to dating men younger than her. She have never been in a long-term relationship since she was in a relationship with this man. Just like Angie Stone. She told you that she could not find a love that was like D'Angelo's. But you want to know why? Because when you root somebody, you stay in that moment in time. Y'all want to know why she kept talking about him in every fucking interview? Because she could not escape that root. That's what happens. That is what happens. So the message tonight is do not be sad about D'Angelo's past and celebrate him. He wants to be celebrated. He wants to be celebrated. When I'm playing his music, I let the windows down and I'm singing my heart out. Celebrate him. Our ancestor, we gotta tell him well done. An angel in disguise. Well done. So, that is my analysis on roots. Women and men can be rooted. Men root women all the time. I'm going to tell y'all again. When you fucking, and y'all know, I keeps it real with you. If you ain't married to that man, if you ain't married to that man, when he asks you, is this his? Is you his? Is you gonna be with him forever? You better not say nothing. He a warlock. He working a spell. He using sex magic. And I'm telling you, men are more very intentional when saying this than you know. Don't make you say this to everybody. No. You got some type of energy on you that he need in order to feed him. Stop telling these men you ain't married to that you belong to them, because you don't. You belong to you. They're the very man that you tell that you belong to is the one you can't get rid of. That very man that you fucking when you on your cycle is the very one that you can't get rid of. Stop doing that. They asking you is it theirs, but they ain't doing what they need to do to keep it in their life. You belong to you. Until a man come in and change your shit. And for my men, don't be answering no questions like you fucking she a witch. She trying to work you. You belong to you. Your vagina, your body, your temple is yours and the good Lord's. It don't belong to another person. You know, Erica, she got on there and talked about how the industry and the people in the industry felt like she wasn't the person for him, or she didn't have the looks for him, right? What the fuck do that got to do with him? So you mean to tell me that a man that operates in his own frequency, that could not be turned by millions of dollars, would let them tell him who to date? Do that sound right to you? A man that is so soulfully intact that you feel him before you even see him. You think that the industry controlled who he wanted? She took advantage of him. He said in the interview that she was controlling, that she tried to make him feel like they couldn't make great music apart. They had to be together. That's a witch. She working you. She trying to claim ownership of your life. You don't ever let nobody tell you you can't be successful without them. That you need them to be successful. You don't need nobody to be successful but yourself and God. You don't need nobody to be successful, but you need the good Lord. You don't need another person to be successful. She envied him. The industry didn't set these standards for her because Angie Stone was no bad looking woman. She felt like she was not good enough to have him. And truth is because she wasn't. And it wasn't look wise. We talking soul work. We talking about spirit. We ain't talking about looks because Angie Stone ain't never been ugly to me. We talking about on a spiritual level. He went on to be more successful without her. He went on to make more money than her because his energy was pure. This was his assignment. She couldn't stop that even if she tried. People latch on to what they see, especially when you ascend high. You're high vibrational. It happened to me so many times. People latched on to me and I never understood why, because you can't see yourself a lot of times. So you don't know what energy you possess. I'm just really figuring out myself and being more grounded in my work to understand that I am that girl. So when you hear me say, I am God's prophet. I am that girl. God put this as my assignment. I am this, and this accurate in reading. It is because I have now become rooted in myself and operating on such a high frequency that I know it's a lot of things that's beneath me. And he had learned the same thing. And unfortunately for him, disconnecting from a woman when he learned things about his frequency, she rooted him. The son was under his mother's shadow. He was under her illusion of life. But when she passed, he got to learn some inner workings, some inner truth. And then, now, we're here. That's how it always is. She wanted to debate. I ain't even gonna get into all that. Just no. The man was rooted and he's free. His energy is free. Celebrate him. I don't have to read on him. Because them words that I spoke on that video that I posted on Instagram and TikTok came directly from his energy. That's why I wasn't arguing with nobody in the comment. Cause no, rooted. I want y'all to be careful out here in these streets. Because we in a spiritual war right now. This is real. We in a spiritual war right now. And every person is trying to figure out how to survive. Don't let somebody drown you. Don't let somebody drown you in the name of love. Don't let somebody drown you in the name of love. Don't let nobody drown you in the name of love. I don't care if it be romantic, friend, or family. They can't drown you in the name of love. We're in a spiritual warfare. You need to be on your P's and Q's. Your temple only belongs to you and the good Lord. You are one and in alignment with God himself because he made you in his likeness. You don't belong to nobody. Unless you have given yourself over in a marital union, you don't belong to anybody. And even in that union that you've given yourself over in a marital union, you don't belong to your husband. You are your own individual person. Don't lose yourself in a marriage, in a relationship, in a friendship, in a family unit. Don't lose yourself. And do not overcompensate for people that don't deserve you. I'll be happy to explain soul ties. A soul tie is basically where you exchange some form of energy with a person. You can have a soul tie with somebody that you ain't even had sex with. You can have a soul tie with a homegirl, homeboy, whatever. Because you trauma bond with them. You tie your soul to them through trauma or through, sex. You feel me? That's how you soul tie yourself to a person. And sometimes you have to do a soul tie cleanse even from your family or your friend. It's nothing but a trauma bond. People always want to make this deep thing, oh, you gotta have sex. No, you can absolutely be soul tied to somebody that you did not have sex with. You trauma bonded with them and you can't get away from them because y'all are soul tied through this trauma. And you feel like you need them, especially when other drama arrives. That's what a soul tie is. I'm gonna teach you more about roots and stuff like that. I'm about to schedule a class for us to do this week. It will be a free class. I'm doing a free class this time, and then I'll do a paid class next time. But I'm about to start my classes back up. I got to get my little office space together, and then I'll be getting my classes started back up. I hope y'all enjoyed this live. I'm happy to come and do this for you. I'm about to go get my ass in the bed because I got to get up and take kids to school in the morning. I love y'all. Be safe. Celebrate life. Celebrate yourself. Celebrate D'Angelo. Celebrate Angie Stone. You just don't gotta tie them together because they each have their own different legacies, right? All right. I love y'all. Love and light.